Hey guys, we're just getting settled up here. Welcome back, welcome back. Same thing, road to 10% body fat. What a journey. What a journey. But we've decided to do it and we've committed to the process. So, yeah. That's what I'm looking like right now in the gym. All right, we're sitting around, they say 15.5. I think I might be closer to 16 to 17. Battle Buddy, I'm on a live stream. You want to say hey? Or are you shy? All right. Battle Buddy, what's up? You staying good? There's no one in right now. We just started. So, but yeah. Well, last time we did this and we did it, I did it for 2 hours because I'm trying to get the 10% body fat. I look okay right now, right? Look all right. But I'm telling you, I'm 15.5. And I used to be 35%. So, yeah. So, the from going to 15, I got down. 10%? I think I got it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
Yeah. But if you ever are questioning about nutrition, I am like in the zone now. So, and I talk and I have 3,500 subscribers in the last, get this, in the last 2 days, 55,000 people went to my YouTube just to hear me talk about this stuff. So I think I should keep with the momentum, right? Okay. See, I have to have an unbiased perspective to reflect off of to reach ultimate potential. Yeah. Anyways, back at it. What are you working on?
I'm just doing cardio today.
Yeah.
Get back to it.
Yep. Did you know there's a new gym opening up in Macon soon?
Is that something, it's called something nice?
Yeah.
Yep.
I may try to help that club open because I did that in San Diego. I was you know LA Fitness? Okay. Okay, you know when you go in and there's people behind the counter and then they do fitness assessments and all that? I was the director of that. So one life, dude, I went that facility. I love this gym. Always going to support Ron. But for someone like you, I've seen you train. You train a lot. So your recovery, when it comes to recovery, they have everything for recovery. Massage, pools, and everything. And where do you work? Or are you in school?
I work.
Okay. Depending on who you work for, a lot of times, you may not know this, your employer, they may have a benefit to give you a free gym membership. People over the age get silver sneakers. You probably heard of that. Elderlies get silver sneakers when they hit a certain age. A lot of employers in their contract give you a free gym membership, and you don't know about it. So check your employer contract. You know. Yeah. And we got one person in. Is it going to bother you if I talk? Are you sure? I never shut up. I don't. Okay. Shout out, guys. We have a cardio buddy over there. She's getting it in. So road to 10% body fat. Guys, thumbs up. There is her. She trains pretty hard. She's getting her cardio in. And guys, I'll be the first to tell you, don't just do cardio when you want to get lean. Also lift weights, right? Thumbs up for anybody in the chat. Live Q&A. Here we go. So, like your content. There is no way you liked all my content. I have 1,321 videos on my YouTube. You did not like every one of my videos. Samuel, thank you. But you do like a lot of my streams. I feel you on that. All right. So, this therapy is more for me than it is you. Because we're 15.5, 235 pounds. We've come back from 300. and we're on the way to 10% body fat. So anybody who's in the chat, go to my live. I'm streaming recipes, I'm streaming Q&As, and getting ready to show you guys how you don't have to be scared of food. And the reason I say that is a lot of people are scared of food, and I get it. But I stand corrected. Yeah, I'll just play with these things. Shout out to Samuel. You're on your way to becoming a moderator, Samuel. Samuel's on your way to becoming a moderator, your standard moderator. Don't let me down, Sam. Samuel. Yeah, all I ask is if somebody comes in the chat and they're being disrespectful, like, silence them for 60 seconds a few times, because even though these people that come in the chat are very disrespectful, their chats affect the algorithm and the quantity of comments in addition to the rate of watching. Both of those factors together affect the algorithm. Okay? So, yeah. It's nice to have a cardio buddy in here. The last 3 sessions were just in isolation. But that's kind of what it is, man. Like, to get from 300 pounds down to 230, I did a lot of 2-a-day sessions. I did a lot of circuit training. Yeah. But more importantly, I measured my food. I eat carbs every day. I do not believe low-carb diets. They work, and they're good for a short period of time. But diets long term, I think there's more efficient methods. There is more efficient methods to burn body fat. For example, guys, let's talk about something called math. Okay, 4 calories in 1 gram of protein. 4 calories and 1 gram of carb. 9 calories, whoa, 9 calories in 1 gram of fat. So what that means is, if there's 4 calories in protein, 4 calories in carb, and 9 calories in fat, I can eat twice as many carbohydrates than I can fat and still remain in a caloric deficit. Carbs don't make you fat. The issue is, it's the combination of carbs and fats together makes this sticky energy, right? Because it's a lipid and a saccharide, if you want to get down to the science of it. Some of you guys are science nerds like me. I'm a science nerd. I'm a big science nerd. But instead of comic books, I like the human body. Probably should have been like a nutritionist in another life. But anyways, check this out. Your muscles are like a fire hose. And they're flat. When they're flat, they can't contract as good. The contraction of the muscle is an endocrine system. The contraction of the muscles have an effect on our hormones. So, when you deplete the muscle of glycogen and it cannot contract to a base level of resistance and output, you may find yourself losing muscle and fat at the same time during a cut. However, that's if it's done for a long period of time. You can strategically flatten out your glycogen for a bit and then carb cycle. 1 gram of carb holds 3 molecules of water. So you can deplete your system, empty it, right? And now once that system's depleted, you do that for a few days, and then you put a lot of carbs with no fat back in your system, and you super compensate and you fill out. That's what a bodybuilder does in a competition. It's a approach. However, what we can learn from that is me, I'm not a bodybuilder. Screw bodybuilding, screw that. I train to look good naked. That is my sole purpose in training. I want to see my body like a piece of art. I want a base level of strength. I want to be strong, but I also want to be able to look good. Okay? So, how many people. Let's put a thing in here while we're in here. Are you trying to bulk or get lean? There's a strategy for each. Guys, start a poll. Yeah, understood. Are you getting leaner? I'm gonna do road to 10%. I was 10% body fat when I was younger, but I was only 160 pounds. At 10% body fat this time, I would have put on 45 pounds over 9 years. It took me 9 years to put on 45 pounds. 9 years, that's a long time. 9 years. Anyways, guys, I was not a very big, strong man in high school. I was a marathon runner. So, I'm giving you the perspective of someone who is an endurance athlete, what it's like to build muscle. Here's what's cool. Bicep, bam. Anyways, this is what's cool about endurance athletes. If you're a soccer player or you're a runner, you have a cardiovascular system. You have veins, arteries, and capillaries. If you are used to pushing, right? And you have aerobic capacity, you can greater produce the nitric oxide needed to create vasodilation for a good pump. Now, guys, I do have a master's degree, and doesn't mean anything, but it does mean I can kind of talk to sciencey stuff. But a lot of you guys don't like the science stuff. You're like, yeah, that's too complicated. I don't like to read books. Books are stupid. Well, you guys let me know the best way for me to explain it to you. Here's a vote. Are you trying to bulk? Okay, who answered bulk? Why are we bulking? I feel you. Coach Chris went on a bulk when I was in my 20s. Remember, guys, I'm getting old. Coach Chris went on a bulk. Coach Chris put on 60 pounds in 3 months one time. I can bulk with the best of them. It's not worth it. It's not worth compromising your health just to look swole, so 10 years later you have coronary heart disease and atherosclerosis. Find a medium. Now, if you are competing or you're an athlete, by all means, you're training for a purpose. But if you're not an athlete and you're in the gym training, specificity. Train for your goal. You want to get leaner, you want to build muscle, you want to build strength, performance. You could train to get taller or train to get shorter, but that doesn't really work, right? And I know that sounds silly, but can you go into the gym and train to get taller? No. Some people go into the gym and their routine is like training to get taller. What they're doing as just as effective as their goal is the other person training to get taller. Very silly example, but like for example, when I was in the Navy, I was in the Navy for 10 years. That's cool, got to travel. God bless, RIP Charlie Kirk, 1776. By the way, happy birthday, Navy. Today is October 14th. Today is the 250th anniversary of the United States Navy birthday. God bless the United States Navy, the greatest fighting force the planet has ever seen. I served that mother trucker for 10 years. The greatest fighting force, land, air, and sea. If you know, you know. And if you don't, you don't. The Navy is scary. United States Navy can take a ship, go up to an island, a continent, not allow food to come in, cut off their internet, cut off supplies, and continually bomb them for over a year straight, non-stop, in torment if they want to. It is insane. It's like, it's the epitome of Independence Day when the giant spaceship comes down and there's nothing that humans can do until they destroy its shield. The Navy's like that. But anyways, I digress. In the Navy for 9 years, I had a collateral duty, which means I have my job, but then you have side jobs, things you do for the community, things you do, right? Command Fitness Leader, ACFL, okay? 687 people over 9 years went through my little program. If you are in the Navy and you want to retire, on your way out, you have got to get your neck and waist measured. Getting those measurements, it puts you within or not within standards. If you want to receive your pension on your way out of the Navy, you have to be within standards. And if you're not within standards and you're going to retire in a year, guess who they send your ass to? Coach Chris. They send you to me. 98% success rate. So this is what I have discovered for the average blue collar working man, working woman who has every excuse in the book. Military are always on the go. They always skip lunches. They're always moving, and they're always in a different schedule. If someone in the military can prep food on a schedule, so can you. Now, it is simple. The conception is simplicity, but the application of the simple concept is very difficult to apply. So, that's why you have a plan, and you just stick to the plan. You can buy a plan from your favorite fitness coach and entrepreneur, Coach Chris, right? I'm working on a fitness app that I can train you from, I think, every continent in the world, I think. Working on that, but I'm a one-man show. By the way, guys, don't forget, I did have a divorce earlier this year. Lost like 90% of my net worth. So that did put a damper on things. But anyways, I digress. Guys, for all you guys who are in the chat, bulking and cutting, we're doing good. And in case you're wondering what we're doing, I'll show you the settings. All right, guys, remember, stimulate, don't annihilate. When you're trying to get lean, okay, most of your work needs to be in the gym, doing circuits or doing straight sets, resting, right, and then keep that muscle and that strength in the gym. But when you're not in the gym and you want to continue to burn calories and you're eating clean food, that's where the cardio comes in handy. All the cardio does, nothing is going to change the way your body looks faster from a visual perspective. Nothing's going to make you look aesthetically more pleasing than adding cardio to your current regimen, right? And I'm a big believer that if you do more lower intensity cardio and you build up your work capacity, everybody thinks that progressive overload is, oh, I lifted 10 pounds, so let's lift 12 pounds next week. Progressive overload can be weight, tempo, volume. It can be technique, static, concentric, hold. You can work on tendon strength. You can work on muscular strength. Each one is a different modality of training, if you will. Each one is a different modality. It's like in music. In music, you have what they call modes. Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, and Locrian. Those are musical modes. Those 7 modes control every human emotion, believe it or not. So, to control every human emotion that we experience in life, you only need to know 7 modes. Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, and Locrian. And they're numerically in that order. So, road to 10% body fat. Thumbs up. Guys, put in the chat, name one other YouTube streamer. Name one other streamer that's given you the actual information and not saying, oh, by the way, come buy my course. Buy my course. Buy it over here. I'm the only streamer that gives the information away for free. Literally, all the programs I've seen, Why do I do it? I think information should be shared, and those that hoard information for profit to hold it from others, I don't like those people. Now, there are bad people in the world, and you don't want to give good information to bad people, but when it comes to living your best life and feeling better, man, nutrition and health and wellness, you only got one body. The most important investment that you're going to make in your life is what you decide to put in your mouth. No pun intended. But I'm the only person in my family that doesn't have diabetes or atherosclerosis or been cut open with cancer or have generic coronary heart disease or atherosclerosis or congestive heart failure or rheumatoid arthritis. Only person that I know in my family that's not predestined. Am I a genetic outlier? I don't know. I've been studying nutrition since I was 11 years old. It has always been a secret. When I'm deployed and I'm in the desert in Afghanistan, I know what to eat to keep me going, like minerals, salt, potassium, magnesium, zinc, electrolytes. I understand when you elevate your blood sugar, the onset of diabetes, right? These are the things, and I'm telling you guys, I'm halfway considering going back to school, becoming getting a PhD in the future, just because there's only 15% of master trainers in the United States, and I'm a certified master trainer. And I don't say that arrogantly. I earned that shit. To be an ISSA certified master trainer, you have to document over 300 clients and have at least a 90% success rate. 300 people come in and you have to keep it and you have to submit that paperwork. I earned that shit. And now I get to share it with you. All right. By the way, the most important thing that you can do, guys that are in the chat, we're just gonna go again. You can repeat after me as I go pee. One day or day one. One day or day one. So if you have an idea and you're like, hey, this is what I want to do, just go do it. Why wait tomorrow? It's better to show up today halfway prepared than to wait for it tomorrow, because you will not show up tomorrow. I promise you that. If you have to wait for tomorrow, you will not show up. It's human nature. Guys, sorry for the delay. Now, 4 thumbs ups. Kind of a light crowd today, but I get it. And guys, I can no longer stream some of the other content I was. Not that it's bad, but the YouTube algorithm said I am no longer allowed to stream a poker game because some of my viewers, my age category, you got to remember, health and wellness. But I also try to hit the younger generation because I believe in mentorship. And I want the younger generation to at least have one person on YouTube that is a veteran that can say, hey, here's an opinion that may be different than what you normally hear. And hopefully that can remove cognitive bias from your future decisions, right? Cognitive dissonance and cognitive bias are 2 things that really hurt people. But yeah, as you can see, this cardio is not really that hard. So what we're doing is we're going 2%, 12 degrees. But you got to remember, Okay, I have a weighted vest at the house, right? And you guys see it on the stream. I'll put the weighted vest, do some walks, but I'm also still doing strength and resistance training very frequently. So when I use the weights, I'm trying to control and contract, really get that separation and delineation. When I'm going slow and controlled, I'm trying to get the detail. When I go 6 to 8, it's a little bit more powerful, it's more thickness, right? Then when it comes to a leanness and my ability to recover its aerobic capacity, guys, what you don't realize is if your aerobic system is in better shape, you recover better from your weights. Therefore, with a better aerobic system, you'll actually get leaner and hold more muscle. It's astonishing that people don't realize this, but just think about it. If your body is not in shape, aerobically out of shape, right? Well, if you get in better aerobic condition, wouldn't that kind of make your body look better? And then another thing is too, lotion. I'm telling you guys, get Jergens Glow Lotion, and when you get your ass out of the shower, put some lotion on your dry ass skin. It will look better, I swear. Healthy skin that has a slight tan looks more aesthetic. Here's an example. How many of the people go to the gyms, you see these people who are big, they look good, but you get close up and you see pimples and pusses all over their arms, and it's like, that's not good. Woo, I almost fell my bed off. They're using androgens, they're using SARMs, right? I'm not judging them, but maybe if someone has like a pimple the size of fucking Texas on their back and they're all broken out, maybe they have something wrong with them. God bless them. Maybe that's not the person to get advice from, right? Just saying. Another thing too is when it comes to selecting a coach, check your coach's credentials, right? Consider this when picking a coach. If you ask an elephant how to get big, they get big. If you ask a cheetah how to get fast, they're just fast. So there are people who are genetic freaks who just are gifts from God, if you want to say, right? They just respond to training very well. Most people, 99% of people are not them, right? So find a trainer who's up to date on the science and also trains themselves and brings the scientific approach with the anecdotal, and then together they can tailor it specifically for you. Easy day, right? Guys, very easy cardio, but you got to remember this is the very end. We blew up shoulders today. If you guys want to see pictures of me, this is what our current look like in the background. Again, I'm looking all right. You know, I was a little depleted here. 15.5% body fat. I can get leaner. We can get leaner than that, comfortably. Comfortably, damn it, we can get leaner, dadgummit. All right. Here's the grocery list for those in the chat. If you're in my chat and you don't give me a thumbs up, you need to question every life choice you've ever made up to this point and end it on a good note and start the journey of your future life with a thumbs up, implementing a great decision moving forward. Anyways, that's the grocery list. Get out of the frame. Spinach. Why spinach? I'll tell you why spinach. I learned this. If you eat a lot of rice and potato or bread or pasta, that's going to fill up your glycogen. That's great. However, if you want to reduce the puffiness and you want to stay lean and have those cuts start to come out, implement spinach. And there's some other things I use too, food. Implement spinach and dark berries into your routine and alleviate the chemicals and the extra salt, and your body literally within 3 days will strip some of this water. And then if you take the Jergens darker tan lotion and you put it on, you'll notice within a couple days, even within like 24 hours. Hell, if you did it right with the tan, within 12 hours. If you have a fast metabolism, like myself, I don't eat a lot of junk food anymore. I don't drink and I don't smoke. Why? Because I noticed drinking and smoking prevented my body from doing the natural things that I needed to stay lean. All right? Drinking dehydrates you. You can argue some alcohol before a photo shoot would dehydrate you. But guys, if you just eat the right amount of carbs, proteins, and fats and not overeat, you'll be amazed at how the body will work. And then you use the body. All right, back over here. Here you go. So I was proud of this. I don't know if you can see. No, you can't see that. These are some videos I put out. This one got 12,000 views, 973. It's me in the kitchen. Guys, go watch this video if you're in the chat. This is a live stream where I am in a kitchen. All right, it's called Healthy Chicken Curry Rice. And on that live stream, I cooked the entire meal prep on live stream. Literally showed you the recipe. Find that, watch it, and then watching that, you'll have the answers to how you can meal prep. And I eat carbs every day. Like, I pretty much eat most of anything I want in portion, but when I want to get lean, like down to 10%, remember, when I got into strongman, my body fat got up to like 35%. When I was 300 pounds, I was big and strong. I was kind of got a gut, but I was strong. So pulling down 20% body fat almost has been really stressful for my system. So what I realized is I took my time and I kind of figured out a way to eat where I think anyone can get lean if they just follow these foods they eat. Because realistically, it's almost impossible to get fat if you just eat these foods. The foods I listed. Anyways, here it is, Founding Fathers 1776. There's a flat photo there, nothing crazy. Road to 10%. See, I see poofy in there. See, I look poofy in some of those photos. It's because I did it, guys, and feel free to chat down below. What I noticed was this, okay? When I ate nothing but rice and chicken, I got leaner, but I would still kind of be puffy and bloat. The addition to the cruciferous and fibrous spinach, in addition to pineapple, frozen bananas, and some frozen berries, strategically placed between my carbs and protein, allowed my body to pull in the glycogen, right, from the carb, strip the excess water, and have the amino acids needed to promote hypertrophy. It is what I call Coach Chris's King Combo Lean Body Slayer. KKLBS. As you can tell, the name needs work. It does need work. But then again, that's why we're here, to entertain the fine folks from India. Shout out to my fan from India. Butter chicken curry and chicken tikka masala and korma. I actually use korma. If you go to the store, you can get curry seasonings and you can get korma seasoning, a jar. A quarter of a cup is 45 calories. So if you get lean protein and lean carb, like rice, you don't have any fats. So now your fats come from the sauce, the avocado or the curry, right? So, and when you eat that way, you'll be surprised, man, how much food you can eat and stay lean. Like, yeah. All right, there we go. Back to the rent. Back through here. And again, I like to use this term called BBB. Not super lean yet, but we're getting depleted right now. I'll look better once I eat some carbs and fill out, but we're depleted. Anyways, you want to become a BBB, a better butter burner. Better butter burner. I got that from Greg Doucette. doing cardio and being in shape sets the condition for your body to want to maintain a lower base point. And I even find, like, I'm on a 12 degrees incline, I'm walking, I'm jogging, but all I'm trying to do is when I'm stepping, I'm doing little contractions, right? Every little step has a purpose and intention. A lot of people, they do this when they do cardio. This is what I see people do cardio, they do this. You ever seen somebody do cardio like that? Don't do cardio that way. You are burning a lot of calories by smashing your foot, but you're not being very effective. So what I would say, put the incline up, get to where your body gets warm, and build your work capacity to stay in a zone 2, very briefly, zone 2 for longer periods of time, and the output that you do within that time frame, that zone 2, your effort should increase while staying in the zone 2. Think about that. You want to increase your body's ability to stay in zone 2. You don't want to get in zone 3, zone 4, zone 5. Fun fact, University of Pittsburgh did a study. Guys, when I turn my head, I have a large database in my brain, and that's like me flipping through it. It's like a book. People who ran marathons, according to the University of Pittsburgh, for 20 plus years, 10 to 20 years, and practice in a zone 3 to zone 4 cardio state, had weaker hearts than sedentary individuals who walked on the weekend. Think about that. So if you get your heart to pump continuously, nice and easy, and the work that you do doesn't put stress on the heart, that's what you want to do to burn fat. If you're going to do zone 3 or zone 4 and do those long runs, guys, that is really bad for your heart unless you're really conditioned for it. That it's kind of how I see it, right? And I've tested this, and I'll tell you, if you're doing your cardio and your weights separate, which I always recommend, it's going to take more time, and it's going to be slower, but the end result will so be worth it, my friend. The end result will be worth it. 1 step back, 2 steps forward. 1 step back, 2 steps forward. Does anybody have any questions in the chat, such as, hi? So, look, don't make dieting complicated, okay? The first thing you need to do is figure out if you want to get bigger or smaller, stronger or leaner, more athletic performance, whatever. If you measure the amount of food that you're currently eating, right, just for what it's worth, you measure, shout out to Coach Chris's technical skills. They are not to be desired, but that is okay. If you cannot laugh at yourself, this world will consume you and destroy you. Be able to laugh at yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Accept your deficiencies as what they are. The blemishes and the discrepancies and the inadequacies are the very things that separate you from other people. And although separating yourself from other people may seem bad, that's what makes you special. So, the unique characteristics that you have, you should be very proud of those and not hide them from the world, but continue to develop them. And then when it's ready, your passion will overwhelm the audience and they will come to you. It is just a matter of consistency. Hence, why successful people like to go to the gym. It's the sake of consistency, schedule, routine, all the boring stuff, but it's very effective. Guys, shout out to you, boy.
we are doing streams all the time, getting ready to do a lot of stuff coming up this year. But the main thing is getting down to 10% body fat. New gym opening up. You're looking for a fitness director. By God, if there was ever a God-given talent that was bestowed upon an individual, it was Coach Chris's availability and ability to get your ass in shape. Coach Chris will get your ass in shape. I can't do the work for you, but I can show you how to manipulate the variables in the nutrition to make it way more efficient and not as painful, right? Yeah. 12 degrees incline, 43 minutes. We only gone like a mile and a half, walking and jogging, very easy. And here's something I tell people I add to their routines for my personal trainer in the chat. Okay, if you ever trained a client, interesting. Have you ever trained a client and they had issues with a sciatica or an SI joint or a lower L lumbar that was displaced? Okay, so what you want to do is I'll show you an exercise for you trainers. Start doing this for rehab. One of the things I have, my specialty is nutrition and exercise science. So I teach people how to get back to doing what they were doing 100%, right? That's kind of what I specialize in. Now, let's say your client comes to you and they can't bend, they can't do lunges, they can't do this. Do you want to train their lower body? Incline right here. Hold on to this and just crouch. If your client has back pain and you push down, it will decompress, pull the vertebrae up, and it will do nerve flossing. Essentially, it's kind of like nerve flossing. Anyways, you get down, up, down. You get, when they're here, that's good, but when they go down, they're also, because their arms are here, they're stretching out their upper pectoral, their front delt, and everybody is got anterior tilt, and they're leaning, everybody's like this these days, right? So by going back, puts their chest up, and then if you get them to stay in this position is really good because you can feel the foot, the heel, the toes, the glutes, the shoulders. This is a full body movement and nobody ever walks. And if you lean forward more and get lower, you feel all this in different sections from the lower glute all the way up into the spinous erectus in the back. And you'll be amazed at how effective that is for some of your clients. Just for those who are trainers, curious about that. By the way, guys, if you're in the chat, road to 10% body fat, it would be cool. There was a company that contacted me about becoming a fitness model, right? I don't think I look good enough to be a fitness model, personally, but my favorite fitness model of all time was Greg Plitt. I don't know if you guys know who he was. He was an Army Ranger, and I used to watch a lot of his videos, and before I got into strongman, I was really lean and cut, but then I went into strength training for 6-7 years and blew out my back. I want to get that. I love that Greg Plitt style physique. You can run, push-ups, pull-ups, body weight control, flexibility. Those are good things. So now what we're going to do, we're going to bump up the pace. And because I've done all my contracting, now what I'm going to do is squeeze my core and go side to side. And almost like I'm going back and forth like this. People always ask me, like when I get lean, this thing right here, this is a muscle, the lower obliques. They're like a root that go down. In order to get those, it's very simple. You just go side to side. All you have to do is control the position of your hip and you'll feel a little twist there. Guys, remember I was a baseball player. I was a pitcher. So I've always trained torque. Torque. Instead of just getting a big bench press, I was a thrower. So torque and twisting was more important for performance than just the bench press. So, just for what it's worth. That's my excuse for being a pretty terrible bench presser. I have so many other movements I'd rather do than bench. Long arms, wide shoulders, narrow, leaner, not thick. Nah. Any other exercise. Dumbbells, dips, anything. I think the upper body dip with good control, I think a dip is better 100%. Guys, thanks for the chat. 45-minute stream. If you came in, you saw it. And if you missed it, you missed it. It is what it is. Favorite coach and entrepreneur. Check back in, Coach Chris.